Doc Sadis. Let's talk about Star Trek Discovery Episode 4. Yes, I know I'm super late. You know what? If you knew the trouble I had trying to get this thing up on Sunday night, you would just be like, just start crying for me because that's how bad it was. But let's talk about this episode because, again, I liked it. I don't really understand, you guys, all of the shade that people are kind of throwing on this. I mean, what is going on here? People, I don't know if they're Star Trek purists, they would consider themselves, but what is the problem? If you're looking at this show and you're seeing this, what is the problem? Tell me why you do not like this show. I mean, visually, this thing is absolutely stunning. Let me tell you, let me just be honest. This looks better than some of the Star Trek movies we've had. I mean, cinematically, I don't know how anybody can, I know it's a TV show, but cinematically, I don't know how anybody can complain about this movie from a visual aspect. And I have heard some complaints even about that. How? This thing is stunning. I mean, absolutely beautiful. How can anybody complain about how it is visually? So that's the first thing I want to say that I really liked about it. And it just continues to impress me episode after episode. I love the feel, the tone, the scope of this. And again, to be watching it on a 24-inch monitor and to have it come across as so epic and so powerful visually, I think is really, really impressive. I actually did enjoy the story on this one. I did think it was kind of cool how we finally found out what's going on with how that whole warp drive thing works, even though I do have some questions about the Ripper, or the creature that we see in the show. I'll ask you guys a question about that later because there's something for me that's not quite adding up here. So maybe you guys can help me figure out how it works. I'm also loving the character development, man. Listen, one of my favorite Star Trek series was Star Trek The Next Generation, and mainly because of the character development of the folks that were on the Enterprise. Everybody on that ship had an interesting enough story to tell in which we could have just really enjoyed episodes devoted to almost every single one of the main characters on that ship. So what I like about Discovery is now we kind of are starting to see a little bit more development from some of the characters in there. Now I'm interested too to see a little bit more from the Doctor. We only saw him for a tidbit, but I kind of like his characteristics or his personality. The science officer, I call him the mushroom guy. I kind of like him too. So we're starting to see some of the different personalities and kind of how they interact with each other on the ship. I still love Burnham. I love her character. I love the fact that they built the show around her. I think she's super interesting enough and a strong enough actor to really pull this off. Excuse me, ladies, actress, to pull this off well. And I can see if the show continues to kind of revolve around her as the main character, the show really getting some mileage just out of that. I wasn't super excited about the Klingons in this episode, and for goodness sakes, Star Trek, I mean, come on, man. I'm all for the new feel and tone of this show, but the whole cannibalism reference, that's just too dark, you guys. That's just too much of a leap for those of us who are Star Trek fans. I mean, I don't want to hear anything about. No, that just really threw me for a loop. I was actually kind of disappointed about that, and I don't know. I'm not even sure what the deal was with that. Was that to really give them punch or give them edge? I don't even know. So I did not like that. Poor Captain Philippa, I believe that's who it was, or maybe it was the other captain. I don't know who it was, but I didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. But I really did enjoy the story here. I thought it was really interesting. I thought we got to really kind of see more of the captain's motivation, because he really is dedicated to winning the war and probably some other stuff that we haven't found out about yet. I'm not even really sure where I am on him. I kind of think he's crazy. I kind of think he's not crazy. I'm really not sure what direction he's going to go in. I think most people think that he's going to go within a wayward direction, kind of a rogue star. I was about to say Star Wars, a rogue, R-O-G-U-E, captain. But I'm not even sure that's going to happen either. I'm just kind of interested to see what is going to happen with him. But I do like the character development. I do like how the characters are kind of unraveling here. I'm a little bit bored with the Klingons at this point. I just need a little bit more. I guess part of what bothers me about the Klingons in the series so far, even though I think I like the redesign, the new look, they're just too... I don't even know how to put it. It's too much. Like they come across as too dramatic. Almost in everything that they do, the way that they talk, and I know that they're a warrior race. I get all of that. I mean, that's part of the Star Trek canon, so I get that, and I respect that. There's just something that's too heavy about them, and it almost irritates me when I see them in this show, even though I enjoy their part in the narrative. I enjoy the role that they're playing so far. There is just something about them that kind of just irritates me. So I don't know. That's where I am with that. What do you think about that? Here's what I'm confused about, and maybe you guys can help me out. So the creature, the Ripper that was brought back from the Glen. I'm confused about what's happening there. And the reason for that is, you know, when they brought that other device over from the Glen, apparently, which is what the creature was used to power their warp drive. Am I missing something? Because how did they know to even use the creature that way? Maybe it's just part of the story that hasn't been filled in. And the reason I ask that is, from what I understand, it's not like they brought the creature onto the ship for that purpose. We get from the dialogue that the creature was a stowaway, something that they found, I guess, in one of the cargo bays. Apparently that was microscopic, and when, I guess, however they're pulling the source of the elements into the ship to use for the warp drive, I guess the creature gets pulled in from that aspect or something like that, because they did say that the hull was not breached. But they found the stowaway. So what? They found the stowaway, and then they figured, like, oh, we can use the creature to power the warp drive. That part confused me. And the reason I also say that is when the creature is on the Discovery and you see it kind of powering their warp drive and it climbs into the apparatus, you can tell it's done it before. It knows what that experience is like. So I'm just a little bit, I guess, confused about how all that came to happen on the Glen, how they started to use the creature on the Glen. If somebody can help me out, if I missed something, then please do. But all in all, you guys, I really enjoyed the series. I'm really loving it so far. I don't mind the difference in tone, the new direction that Star Trek is taking. I'm glad it's a fresh new take on things. It really does look dynamic, and it looks very different from what we've seen before. I actually even like the story. I like the performances. I do feel like the story is taught in the sense that it brings nice tension, and it kind of does pull you along in a way that you're interested to see what happens next. It's engaging. Everything is engaging about it to me. I mean, I like the visuals. I like the storyline. I like the performances. I like where this new Star Trek Discovery is going. And I would consider myself a Star Trek fan, and dare I even say a purist. But I'm not opposed to something new. That's just my thoughts on this. So guys, what did you think about this? Let me know in the comments below. Please make sure that you subscribe so we can talk about episode 5 next week, which I will try and get up much earlier. I'm not even, oh my gosh, you guys, the problems I had with Adobe, and it was a mess. So guys, remember, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Subscribe button should be popping up now if it's not already up. Hit it, it's a little circular button, and let's get into this show. And now I am actually going to probably play Shadows of War, because I've been waiting for that to come out on PS4. It's downloading right now, right there. And I still have to do my review for The Gifted. Got some thoughts on that. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.